Oh my god, I'm gonna have to play a modern game soon because these old school games are killing me. What's up? It's your girl Lady Pelvic of Pelvic Gaming, and today we're talking about Seiken Densetsu 2, or Secret of Mana, on the Mana Collection. So that means the original, which came out August 6th, 1993 on the SNES. That's something I had to remind myself of. 1993. So yeah, this is my second ever Mana game, first being Legend of Mana, which I enjoyed much more. Let's discuss. So the Secret of Mana opens up with a brief history. An old civilization abused mana and constructed the Great Mana Fortress. The gods were not happy and took to destroy the floating craft. It was a massive war that shook the entire globe. A hero arose with the Mana Sword and destroyed the fortress. The world recovered and worked toward peace, and now the Empire is at it again. Randy, hanging out with his garbage friends and falling off a bridge, stumbling upon the Sword of Mana, which has been drained of its powers. You pull the sword, meaning you must be the knight that appears in the time of trouble. After saving these ungrateful-ass villagers, you're banished from your hometown and must become strong to defeat the evil empire that seeks to resurrect the Mana Fortress. Now the story is very cozy. It's not a story you haven't heard before. Go to different temples that house the seeds of mana to gain the power and strengthen the mana sword while fighting off the empire. And there's nothing wrong with that, cause the journey's nice. You travel different trains, make new friends, meet different types of people. It's a solid grand adventure that would feel right at home. I can understand those who've played this game as a kid would have been mind blown. Even with some rushed translation issues and ending storytelling aside, it was easy to digest. So then we get to the gameplay, and that's when I didn't have much enjoyment. Secret of Mana is one of the pioneers of action RPGs. You play as 3 different characters, 2 of which are magic users, but all can use any type of weapon. You explore sometimes using the weapons you have to traverse the land. You go off in real time, whacking things. There is a stamina bar, and when it reaches 100, you can do max damage, even stunning enemies sometimes. If you attack before, you do a significantly weaker attack. Back on stunning, enemies can easily stun lock you if you're not careful. That's big gripe number 1. Granted, you can stun lock enemies too. Bosses will drop a specific weapon orb, which can be used to upgrade weapons. Each upgrade grants a different weapon skill. Some weapons poison or confuse. If you upgrade again, you might lose that skill for another. And then there's leveling with a weapon. The weapon level might be a level 6, but the character's weapon level might be a 2. So that means you can only do a level 2 charge attack. Obviously, the higher the level, the stronger and longer it takes to charge, but you pack quite a punch. Use the weapons to level that character's weapon stat. Magic is the same way. After you obtain an elemental, you gain its magic abilities. Use any of its magic to upgrade the elemental. Magics can single out a target, making the spell more potent, or multi-target, doing less damage to all. Now once you get magics, the game is nearly cake. The game should be called Secret of Spamming Magic. Straight up, boss fights are straight spam magic until big bad boss dies. Very little challenge here. Bring consumables to replenish your MP and you're good. But before you get magic, this game is difficult and frankly demoralizing. I'm not gonna lie, I almost quit this game before I got magic. The stun lock, your AI teammates are morons, getting hung up on the environment, they keep getting hit by easily dodgeable boss attacks or get stun locked themselves. I also felt some attacks straight up didn't connect if multiple people were hitting the enemy. You'd have to wait for the damage in red to pop up. And frankly, sometimes it didn't. Straight up, if you tell your allies to cast magic, they just don't. 1993. And even after you got magic, there was some major difficulty spikes near endgame. God bless save states. It was insane. Most bosses and areas were pretty easy. There were very few bosses that had a unique gimmick. I really felt in the beginning this game wasn't very welcoming, especially because the first boss you get your ass beat. And it wasn't like Breath of Fire 2 where you knew you were supposed to get your ass beat. And apparently I played this game on hard mode because there's this boss you could have had a second character, but I missed that. It was just every boss battle up until I got magic wrecked me, and unfairly so with Stunlock. I felt so discouraged, and I really think it negatively set the stage for the rest of this game for me. I remember continuing to play it just to play it. I wasn't having fun. I was playing the game to review it because I finish what I start. Any parts that were supposed to be exciting or shocking, I felt pretty numb to it. And let's talk about UI, which was god-awful. I don't like the ring system. You go back and forth between characters and their rings. The menu ring, where you could set how allies battled, keep away, or be aggressive. Even still, the AI was pretty crappy. You could play with a friend, assuming you had friends. Plus, I was going through a hurricane, so nobody was coming over. Back to the menu ring, you could check weapon levels, magic levels. You could change the text window because it was needlessly hard to read. Change equipment, which is rings within rings within rings. Another ring is items, another ring is weapons. It's a mess. I got confused which character's ring I was under at times. The color coding didn't stand out other than Prim's pink. The UI. 1993. I felt like everything kept stacking for me to dislike this game. I don't have fond memories of the gameplay, even if it helped lay the foundation of action RPGs. But onward to the graphics, which are one of the things I did like. I'm a huge fan of sprite work. I think the game should have stayed sprite work. Charming character animations, whether they get knocked down or when they do a critical or casting spells. Even enemies, when they attack or get whacked, have a fun expression. I thought the NPCs, specifically the women, were really pretty to look at. Upgrading the items changed their appearance. Love the elementals showing up when you cast. I really think this game looked beautiful back in 1993, and frankly, it holds up well in 2019, baby. And finally, the best thing about this game is the OST. I was pleasantly surprised. I thought to myself, how could such an irritating and rage-inducing game have such a goddamn beautiful soundtrack? In the collection, before you even get into the game, you can play through the entire OST. I thought that was a nice touch. So Hiroki Kikuta composed the original score of Secret of Mana, and I gotta give this man props, cause this was his first video game, and he nailed it. Working tirelessly against the hardware limitations of the SNES, this man created his own damn samples. There was happy-go-lucky music, wholesome music, and my favorite, he had some dark sounding tracks. He really nailed it, and I was truly taken back by the Secret of Mana's soundtrack. My ears were not ready to be penetrated like this. I found traveling dungeons and the dangerous world more enjoyable thanks to Secret of Mana's OST. Even boss battles were like, oh snap, a great way to wake the player up and prepare for battle. Speaking of, man, there were a lot of favorites I have from this OST. I have to mention the second to last boss battle in the game. That's probably the best one, but the one I'll share with you is called Color of the Summer Sky. My main reason why is because it hardcore reminded me of Earthbound, even though Earthbound came out after Secret of Mana in 1994. It's mainly the drums, but it brought me back to a happier game. A game I actually enjoyed. That's pretty bad. Man, this music makes me think of a better game. I mean, there are songs that kept me in the world of Secret of Mana, but I'll forget it. Anyways, here is Color of the Summer Sky. Secret of Mana, baby, darling, you're like a 6.5, maybe a 7 out of 10. I know that's an unpopular opinion, a hot take, I'm ready to get dislike bombed, but your girl did not enjoy this game. The stun lock, the difficulty spikes, the UI, the dumb AI. Ugh. If I had friends, I imagine it would have been easier, but I feel like I should be able to have a balanced, single-player experience. Cool idea. If I played this back in 1993, I'd probably have friends and it'd be cool. But most importantly, this game really whooped my ass in the beginning of the game, before I got magic, and it was really discouraging. I really was about to put this game down, because I was so irritated, and that kind of gets me thinking, there's a reason why you start at the bottom and the game slowly raises difficulty later on. And I really think that could set the rest of the tone for the game and really cause people to shut it off. So I kind of want your thoughts on games that are really difficult in the beginning until you get XYZ special power. Secret of Mana does have the cute charm of a JRPG, but I just wasn't buying it. It's funny because at the start, I thought I was playing this game wrong. I thought to myself, how could people love such a game with wonky and shitty gameplay? But no, I was playing it right. I think a lot of the fondness for this game is rooted in nostalgia, as playing it as a kid, yeah, it would be mind-blowing. A life-changing adventure, even. In fact, I'd probably give this game to my kid to play, and when they get to the hard parts and bitch to me about it, I'd be like, well, mama's misery needs company. I'm just playing. I'd probably end up doing the hard part for my kid. Let's be real. Secret of Mana is a game I'd say, I appreciate what you did for the action JRPG genre. But you could stay in 1993, where you belong. Thank you for watching. If you're still here and care about my opinion, click the top box for more reviews, and the bottom box for my Let's Play channel. And if you really give a crap about my opinion, check out my Patreon. Okay, really, I appreciate y'all. Mwah!